Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, and we've got a good one for you tonight. Look, Nana Tink just said it, gonna be a good one for sure, and she is right. We've got Yaakov Benz in the house. Man, how are you?
Hey everybody, doing well, doing well. A
I'm
little
so
nervous
excited to keep Troy in here.
have Troy. I mean, he's the pro at this, interviewing and all.
Yeah, but you're a pro at talking. So, I mean,
definitely not.
it's going to be good. And we actually got Yaakov. He's just home from the hospital and trying to shove his face. So keep eating if you want to eat, man.
Okay,
we are happy to let you keep on eating.
Oh, good. Okay, I left it on the side. It should be fine for right now.
Lone
You might
Star
hear my kid in the background, though.
No, that's fine. My dog is randomly barking at the door, so no big deal. I appreciate you stopping by, man. I've been I don't think I was the only one that's been on you to get on YouTube more.
Yes.
And now you've been appearing on lives.
Yeah, I actually have a scheduled live every week now with Flip Finds and Fun Josh.
Nice.
10 o'clock on Tuesday nights to whatever time we end, probably 2 hours.
Yeah, so, I mean, you've already done that, so this is nothing now.
That is Joey.
Joey's in the house. I got glasses for one more week, guys. Doctor says I can't wear contacts, so at least one more week, and then you don't have to deal with the reflection bouncing back at you. It's distracting me seeing it, so I know it's probably distracting. Mary is here. Chris, Nikki, and Gary are here. Nana Tink. We've got a lot of people in. I appreciate you guys stopping by. We already did you. There we go. These chats move quick. Joey,
Yep.
yeah, I was telling Yaakov beforehand. I've got a new table set up in here. I've got an office chair. I've never had like a designated space. Is part of why it creeps into the house and it shows up in the living room and at the kitchen table. And so I don't know if this is the new background necessarily, but today it is because I was sitting at the table. So now I have a 6-foot table in here and an office chair. It kind of feels good just to have a space that this is where I work on stuff. And I know Roxanne will appreciate that I'm not working on stuff sitting in the living room. And I have a tendency to leave little pieces of me behind where I was, and you can follow the breadcrumbs. So I'm not going to do that now. So it's much better. So
everybody noticed the mascot in the background. Say hi to the mascot.
We got the little my little buddy back here, the prospector. It was a pretty unanimous keep him that I picked him up at a garage sale here this past weekend. And I just the moment I saw him, I'm like, that guy is incredible. And I think it's actually relatively valuable if I were to try to sell it. It's a one-of-a-kind piece. But I didn't hear a single person say to sell it. You told me.
Did you look in comps?
Oh, well, there are no comps because, I mean, it was made, it's a vintage, handmade, one-of-a-kind piece. So
how would you price it?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to price it high and hope somebody else sees the value, right? Like, if I were to put that guy up, I'd seriously put him up for like $300, like $299 or something, and just see, right? And then you just wait and see. At some point, someone's going to come along that loves it, and they're going to send you an offer of $200, right? So I think something like that. I mean, something hand done. That the design on it, his hair is all like it's different shades of white and gray. I mean, it's incredible, the detail. I've had Jane on in my chat said if I ever sell him, that she wants him. She's in love with him. My mother sent me a text today and said, "Hey, I saw your video. You can't get rid of that guy."
But how much are they offering? Come on, there's always a price. There's always a price. How much are they offering?
I know. Wait, let's talk numbers. Look, there's my mother in here. She says, "I will outbid anyone."
Oh.
Where did it go? Now, where did it go? It jumped on me. Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. Higher than the mountain's height or taller than the Empire State Building. I like it. Yeah, well, and the American flag is that's just been hanging in my garage. So that just it fits with him. I thought, what, he's going to stand in front of the flag. So Yaakov, let's it's 5 minutes after. We don't want to talk about me. We want to talk about you. Um,
I mean, what do I? What am I? You guys all out there know everything, and I'm learning from you people.
well, and I think that's what's cool is like, I mean, you found it's incredible how you kind of connect with everybody and everybody wants to hear from you. You say, I'm learning from all of you. We're like, no, we want to hear from you, man. Like it's a lot of fun. Sales, what have your sales been like this weekend? Has it slowed down for you a little bit?
So it's slowed down, and then thanks to the Rev, he put out like everybody should start listing in 21 days, and we're gonna go take a commitment, so on and so forth. So I took a commitment of 5 listings a day. My fear now at this point is either to run out of inventory, and if not running out of inventory, putting up stuff that are just gonna sit there, and then what do I do? I'm gonna have a fear of I have to get a bigger store because it's just going to grow. The inventory is going to grow, and it's going to cost me like $10, $15 extra a month to just keep it listed. So I have to figure out where it is.
How many things do you have listed right now?
105.
Okay. Well, that's really hefty, man. No,
yeah, but a lot of this stuff are just stuff that will sit, that I know will sit. Like, so COVID happened, and I had no way of sourcing. And I got involved with everybody. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to figure a way to get some inventory. So I bought some stuff from Wholesale Ninjas. I went on Wholesale Ninjas. I bought a lot. So all those stuff over there, yeah, eventually probably they'll sell. And yes, if I lot everything up and make a whole mess out of it, it'll probably sell. But I don't have the time. So I'm listing one by one. And listing one by one, you're going to sit on them for who knows how long until. So where does the cutoff point come where I say, okay, look, I have to stop listing or I'm going to.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want to list something that you know is going to be 3 years, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because then you're paying fees as it. Yeah. So you've got 105. You're part-time because you work in the medical field as well.
Yes.
So tell everybody what you do.
I'm crazy. I don't have my schedule as set as everybody else. All right, let's see how I could answer this. This will probably be the frame for everything. Please talk about being a dad. Being a dad is tough sometimes, especially when you're working full-time. And my wife, who also works full-time, the kids run around, and you have to be able to come home and spend time with them and actually pay attention, because if you don't, you're not a good dad. So in order to do that, I usually set limits to myself as to my time frame. Like right now, this is out of the ordinary that I'm sitting here at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock for me is come home by hopefully 6, 7, hopefully, and help out with the kids in the house, help put them to bed and everything. Then by 8:30, by 8:30, 8 o'clock, I'm usually out of the house. I'm an Orthodox Jew, so I have to go for prayers 3 times a day. So go for prayers, and then we also have to do some biblical learning. So I do some biblical learning for about a half hour. So my night starts essentially at about 9 o'clock. At that point, that's when eBay, wife time, and everything else time happens. Pay the bills, get everything done. That all happens after 9 o'clock. Nursing life is tough because, I mean, for every nurse, it's tough sometimes. I mean, I don't work the hospital specifically. I work home care. So when people come home from the hospital, usually the hospital, you have a day off during the week. You usually work 3 shifts or 4 shifts, depending on the week and whatnot, and you'll have a day off during the week. I work home care. So since I work home care, I sometimes every other week work a Sunday. If I work a Sunday, I have a day off during the week. And that day off during the week, essentially, I now dedicate it to my eBay business.
Okay.
That being said, I do work 3 different jobs, plus eBay, plus being a dad.
And now you're a YouTube star.
That's the whole dilemma here. How in the world am I going to produce anything?
Right.
And I do source in Jersey more because Brooklyn, I don't see has anything. And I live in Staten Island. And so I'm literally in the middle of Brooklyn and Jersey. So I do source in Jersey because Jersey has 3 or 4 Goodwills. that are better for me, and Brooklyn doesn't have any Goodwills as far as I can see.
Wow, none at all, huh?
No,
Huh.
and the only outlet is in Queens, and they only do soft goods. There's no hard goods over there. There's usually only clothes.
We got and this is a good point from Artifacts Official. Start items at auction for what you paid once you feel they have sat long enough, or when you want to make room. If it doesn't sell at the price you paid for, at least it's probably time to let it go. I've started tinkering with that a little bit too, mostly on the big bulky things, where I'm like, you know what, I know this has value, but I don't want it to sit for 8 months. I'm going to run an auction. And I've done that on several big things, and it works really well. You don't necessarily get top dollar for it, but you make money on it and you move it out.
Yeah, but the stuff I'm dealing with are like small makeups.
Yeah.
So like, I really have to lot everything up and just like find a way to just get rid of it.
Do you do anything other than eBay? Do you do like Mercari or Poshmark or any of that?
I do in Poshmark. I had a Connect that I bought a bulk amount of clothes. Just literally like a whole bag of premium. They called it premium clothes. The whole bag for like $250. It had 55 sleeveless shirts in them. So I got a whole bunch of good stuff from it. Yes, I could sell them and make about $3-4 profit off each one. But going through them and so on and so forth, it's like $1.50 a piece and so on. It's like very time consuming, and you have to listen. You want your store to actually have a variety of things. So where's the limit, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's it's hard to figure out where to draw lines, because lines need to be drawn and there need to be boundaries. And my wife is on me quite a lot and fairly about, let's set like business hours, and let's it can't be eBay all the time. And
Right.
She's right. But I have a hard time when that thing goes off and somebody sends an offer to just go, I'll look at it tomorrow. Right?
So
Like,
I was in the car yesterday. We were driving back from a friend's house. We were at the pool. It was 4th of July weekend, whatever. Anyways, so we were driving back, and she's driving, and I'm in the car, and there's an auction going on. Auction for an estate sale. So I found a few websites that do online estate auctions just because of everything that's been going on. So I sat in the car and I was doing it. But yeah, my attention got distracted with the kids yelling in the back and me having to deal in the front, helping her out with directions and everything. I made it happen, but is it ideal? Probably not. I should have probably just said, that's my max bid and call it a day.
Yeah. Like Nanotank says, just do a daily vlog. Just film, let it run. I like it.
I actually got some good footage. I have to still put it together. I have a lot of footage. I've just been recording left and right whenever things come up, and so
just don't even edit it. Just put it all out there. Call it Yaakov Raw, and be like, "Here, watch all the raw footage. Go to town, guys." I think people would watch it.
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm afraid of that.
Yaakov, I mean, you've been in the chats. You've been in a lot of folks' thing. People are going to watch this back. I know we got 19 in here now. Who else do you watch? I mean, who do you watch that you learn from?
I give you a list. It started with Harry Tornado initially, and then he had a live, and his live that time allowed people to come in. He allowed people to come into his live. So I went in. I remember Joey. That's how I met Joey initially. He went in. And we all introduced ourselves and so on and so forth. But everybody who introduced themselves, or everybody who came in, had some YouTube channel. I didn't have a YouTube channel, so I got like 10, 15 subscribers from just going on like that. But like nothing's gonna continue people. So as it went on, I saw so he had I went to a lot of Josh and so on and so forth, and then I found this whole community. I found the Nurse Flipper. I found the Rav. I found Nanating. I found Joey. I found everybody came in. And you know what? It's like, whoa. So I got involved. I mean, I'm in the car pretty much all day, just jumping out to go and see patients. So whenever I'm there, I just basically jump on what I can jump on and say hi to people. And as you see, I watch the videos and I comment afterwards and I put thumbs up and so on and so forth. And at nighttime, when I'm listing and when I'm getting everything else done, I have it running in the background. The lives, I love Tommy Bernard's live. That's just fun live. Sometimes you get stuff out of it, sometimes not. Again, just fun. but I learned from everybody. I literally, like, I don't know if you were the one who touched upon the snow globes, look into it, or so on and so on. Somebody touched upon snow globes once. So again, I was at an auction online and I saw a snow globe. Yeah, it goes for $80. I bid it up to 16. I won it. Okay, I looked in the thing. Oh, it says untested. Go figure if it works.
Right.
If I'll make that $80, I'll find out. Again, I run into a lot of oops. It happens.
That's how you learn, though, right? I mean, you pay to learn. That's how it works.
Yeah, you have to test out the waters. There's no other way. There's no other way. Even when it comes to nursing, it's like, yeah, you're not going to kill anybody. You get that straight. You kill somebody, you're going to jail. That's straight out. But within the mistakes that you do, or within stuff that you do, you have to know that, like, okay, I did the paperwork wrong once, so I have to go and amend it, and I have to so on and so forth. So next time I know I'm not going to do the paperwork wrong next time. So there are things that that you could fix and that you learn from. It's the only way to get in the water and get dirty and make it happen.
So you're in the medical field. You're a nurse. We can learn from you. We're resellers. We're out there trying to source. I mean, you're our Dr. Fauci. Tell us how we keep safe. What do we need to do? I mean, what is just best practices? We're here. We're talking with you. We might as well. You give us your expertise of what do we need to be aware of and how do we keep safe?
Right now, it's very complicated, especially for me to actually give everybody information. The reason being is because I'm in New York State, New York City. New York State is a little more broader. And Emily could attest to that. Hi, Emily.
Syracuse over there.
Yeah, Syracuse. You see, I'm in New York. We're like 4 or 5 hours apart still. It's not like you could get together.
Montana, that's like a morning drive, though. That's no big deal. 4 hours.
Yeah, but New York City, we look at everything as local. 4 hours for us is like, forget it. I go to Jersey. I spend 20 minutes to drive to Jersey, but I pay the tolls. Forget about it. The tolls are heck over here. Just cross the Verrazano Bridge, you're paying $20.
Good night.
Anyways, so it's very difficult to say, like, in New York City, as of right now, we're in stage 3. What the governors are saying and everybody else is saying, obviously I have to follow politics and say what everybody else says. They're basically saying that everybody should social distance and wear masks, and they're keeping the bars closed because they seem that the bars and the nightclubs and so on and so forth is what probably caused the upscale within Florida and outside of New York and the tri-state area. Right now, if you're in a state that has an uptake and that it's not, I would basically say, first of all, wearing gloves, I don't see a point in it. And I actually see that it could be making worse because people don't know that if you use gloves once, you got to change it because you're touching something. Right. So if I'm going to go into the supermarket, put on gloves and go and pick up this plate of food that I have over here, and let's say it had coronavirus on it. So I took that plate and I just put it down. Oh, and then I see something else that I want from the shelf. So I go and I pick it up. I just cross-contaminated. In the field, if you use gloves once on one patient, like, you can't touch anything else.
Right.
So there's no point of gloves, in my opinion. When it comes to hand washing, it's essential. So whenever you're going in the house, first things first is should be washing hands from outside. When you get back into your car, hand sanitize. This is what I do. When I do anything else, like any other random thing that I do between different things that I do, I would wash my hands, and I would just be very careful not to touch my face. Masks, at this point, apparently it's essential to everybody. And I mean, don't over crazy yourself in wearing a mask when you're outdoors and literally in your own property or in your car. I've seen it in New York.
In the car.
I've seen it in New York. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you're suffocating yourself. Like, stop it. Wearing a mask in a car and like wearing a mask when you're just outside and you know you're not going to be around anybody. The mask specifically is to protect other people, not to protect you. The reason it's not going to protect you is because somebody sneezes at you and particles could hit you. The idea is that when you sneeze, it'll avoid it going out as much as possible and probably capture as much as it can to spread it out. But again, if you're staying 6 feet away from somebody, 10 feet, depending on who you ask, you're standing that amount of feet away already, then somebody who sneezes or somebody who coughs, not necessarily are there particles and all their spit and droplets, as we call it, going to come out and attack you. Also, it has to touch the mucous membrane, it has to touch the mouth, or it has to touch the eyes, and so on and so forth, in order to actually be contaminated. But this is the fact. It's with any disease, meaning the flu has been around for who knows how long. And we've been getting it, surviving it, and dying from it. People have been dying and do die on a daily basis from pneumonia caused by the flu. This is coronavirus basically caused pneumonia and causes, it's a bigger uptake in the elderly, and immunocompromised, but that's the same thing with the flu. It's not a pandemic because we don't have any vaccine. We don't have any way to cure it, quote unquote, in our eyes. And that's the fear. Yeah.
So mask is just, you're reducing the viral load, right? I mean, that's ultimately the goal.
I mean, the ultimate goal of social distancing and the whole works is not to overload the hospital. It has nothing to do with our health. It's literally, there's nothing they could do for us. Nobody can do anything. It's a virus. You're going to get it eventually, whether it's this year, next year, the year before, year after. It's a virus, so it's going to happen. When it happens, you pray for the best and you go on with your life. There's nothing much more to do. It's like you catch the flu.
See, if we got our own expert in the house. Marrakesh wondered what your niche is, Yaakov. I mean, obviously, like medical equipment, you're going to know straight off. But there's an awful lot of medical stuff you can't sell, like prescription type stuff. But does that help you? Does that give you an edge? Do you have a niche in that?
So that's how I initially got myself into the real reselling before Goodwill and before everything. So my niche in nursing is wound care, ostomy care, and stuff like that. So I go to patients' houses, I help them with their wound care, I order supplies for them, and so on. A lot of the times patients have access supplies and they just don't need it. And it's keeping a clutter now. So it's like, can you use it? I literally went to a patient's house and she said, I just got off of an ostomy. I have a huge bag of ostomy supplies. Do you want it? I said, sure, why not? I mean, if I don't use it for anything, I'll use it for patients.
Right.
That bag sat in my car for close to 6 months, doing nothing. Now, what am I going to do with it? So I looked up prices on eBay. Hey, and believe it or not, for 2 or 3 pieces, it was going for $30. So they don't need RX. There are a lot of medical stuff that don't have RX on it. A lot of wound care supplies. There's one thing called Puricol. I have a guy hounding me to date. He paid $475 for a box of maybe 30 of them. Okay? They're little pieces of gauze that basically are impregnated with a certain chemical, yada, 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 that helps with wound healing. Just look on the box. If it doesn't say RX only, you're fine to sell it. If it does says RX only, you take your chance if you want to.
Right.
I have taken my chance. I've sold one box before, and then I saw what happened to Kat and saw what happened to Matt. I said, "This is not my."
You can get shut down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't. I want my eBay store. Right. I want to be successful with it. I want it to grow. I can't take that risk.
So my wife has a question, and I have to ask my wife's question because I'm required legally. I want to anyway. What's the tourism situation like there, man? I mean, obviously New York is a huge tourism industry. Is it just shut down right now?
It's very quiet. I could tell you that 42nd Street, Broadway, is shut down. It's not shut down to people walking around, but it's shut down. There's nothing going on over there. And the stores over there, they're open to people coming in, social distancing at 50% capacity. So they're not making any money. They're probably losing still tons. Regarding flights, I pass Newark Airport every day on my way to the city. It slowed down a ton. There's I remember at the height of it within April and so on, there was nothing. I usually pass Newark Airport. You could actually see the headlights of the planes lining up in the sky. Now there's nothing. You're lucky if you get there and you're passing the airport and there's actually a landing plane and you get to see it. But that's it. It's quiet. I think everybody's suffering. with everything. I think people are going to leave New York pretty soon because one main thing here is it's very expensive to live here.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. It is very, very expensive to live here. It's not cheap. I mean, everybody out there, I know that I've heard when I hear it, I bought a house for $330,000. I'm like, you bought a house for $330,000? Where? Where are you? Do you buy a house? And you know what? You didn't just buy a small house. They buy mansions with a pool in the back. And I'm like, what in the world's going?
You get like a loft, right?
Like I got a small semi-attached house that we paid $420 for, and now it's up to $6 in the market if I was looking to sell. Wow. You know? So it's a crazy market out here, and it's so expensive to just live here, especially being a Jew and all. You have kosher, you have tuitions for schools and stuff like that. It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Man, you need eBay.
And I'm trying.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got in here. Well, let me ask you, I mean, how long have you been reselling? When did that start?
That's a big question. I've been an on and off seller, meaning that I have an eBay account that's been established since probably 2005. When I was younger, when I was 15, 20 till about 18, I was selling random stuff on eBay randomly, just for the fun of it, just see what I get. And then all of a sudden, I went on a sabbatical and then started college and obviously fell out of it. Then I got approached by somebody regarding starting up some small shoe business. We started it up. I ended up passing nursing school and saying I can't handle the stress of dealing with a small shoe business and dealing with so on. So I pulled out of that, and then it was quiet. And then all of a sudden, again, as I said, started by finding Harry Tornado. I'm like, wait a second, I could literally go to Goodwill. Where's there a Goodwill near me? Like, where could I find this Goodwill store? And then, believe it or not, you go to Goodwill. The New York, New Jersey Goodwills are mad expensive. They're not cheap. The stuff I have to find, I go down to South Jersey. There's no way to go anywhere within the New York area
because there's not enough room left to resell it.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no room at all. Like, you could find like jackets for $10, $15, $20. Like, why am I paying $20 at a Goodwill when I could try to find the cheaper? You know.
So, have you tried to do garage sales then?
I tried.
He snickers.
I can't. First of all, the amount of garage sales here are scarce to none. So let's say one or two. Even hitting those one or two, it's like I'm terrified to take out my phone because you have this you have this person looking over you and just trying to see, like, what is he doing? Like, is he going to? Are you on eBay? Like, why are you looking on eBay when I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, like, so I went in without it. And then you go in without comping things. You try to remember, what did Troy say sells? What am I supposed to be getting again? So I found like a DVD player. I asked the woman, is it working? She's like, yeah. How much do you want for it? $2. $2. You take a hit for $2. Why not? Here's $2. It sells for 15. Anything else interesting? No, I tried. So I found this bag of golf clubs. Forget it. The thing, after I got it, I put it in my car. I was so excited. $5, right? For a whole bag of golf clubs. I took the whole bag, put it in my car. I even showed Harry Tornado. I sent the IG to him. I said, is this worth it? He's like, yeah, for sure. You got a good deal. I got home. I take out the bag. I said, let me see what I got. Callaways and so on. Let me see what I got. Look at the bag. It's rotting. Rot over here, mold over there. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I look at the golf clubs, rust. The guy must have taken the whole thing, left it out in the rain. Come on. So I contact you. See, this is the whole point of this community, and it's amazing how everybody is like literally looking out for each other. I contacted Harry Tornado. My Goodwill shop. I had literally Flip Finds and Fun, Josh, with me literally on IG half the time I was there. Just get that, don't get that, get that, don't get that. After I forgot this whole problem with the golf clubs, I sent IG to Carolina Hustler, who deals with golf clubs and all that. He's like, don't worry about it. You got to go golf clubs. Go get a wool scrubbing thing. I don't know.
The steel wool.
There we go. Steel wool. I have to go and get myself some steel wool and put some elbow grease into it, and you'll be able to get rid of it. I said, all right, so now I have to have the time to do that. But again, it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes that I'm making and so on. So that's why I said, you know what? You guys want to see something? There you go.
I think that's interesting, though. That's interesting watching you learning all this stuff and going through like the travails of Yaakov, right? Like,
right. You know,
what more trouble can he get into this week? Like, it's like a Sunday morning cartoon.
I'm afraid to go to Goodwill and see what I could get.
Yeah, like you said, you went into Goodwill and you were overwhelmed. Why is that? Is it just like
so? When I watch a lot of guys on YouTube, including you, I don't know what it is, but it looks like everything is on the shelves and everything is put together. This is New York. Everything was on the floor. There were 5 things on the shelf and everything was on the floor. There were kids running around the aisles. It was like mayhem, and I'm like, where are the shoes? And you know what? You would expect the shoes to be on a nice rack. And no, the shoes are on top of the clothes. So I have to go there like, where the heck what am I getting? Like I said, guys, I can't even deal with this right now. I'm going to close this and figure out how the hell to deal with this. I just it was all over. I couldn't. I was overwhelmed within seconds.
I want to see video of that, though. I want to see like the circus Goodwill that you go to.
So I did take footage. So at my second time after I did everything and I did another hole by myself, I took footage. So you'll see what I'm talking about.
Awesome. So when is that? Like you finally dropped your first video. I guess first, like what went into you deciding, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop a video.
Why did I decide, or when did I decide?
Yeah, like why'd you decide to do it? And then I guess what was the process? Like it took you a little while, right?
So I went into Goodwill. After going into Goodwill, I said, you know what? I have some experience within this Goodwill. Let me share it a little bit, especially with Flip Finds and Fun showing me everything and so on. Like I wanted to express my thanks to him. And anybody who else can help me with all my mistakes that I got myself into. A $72 Laserdisc player, which I have an update on later on my videos eventually. I needed some help. I need to figure out what to do. So like I said, you know what? Let's just go with this. I spent literally 4 hours just piecing all the parts together, and then I noticed, shoot, I have to go outside and record what I did with the golf clubs and record what I did this back and forth, just finishing up the recording. Hence, when do you guys have the time for it?
It definitely, like, there's a learning curve, and I'm still slower than I'm sure a lot of people, but I'm getting quicker, and I'm learning how to kind of streamline things a little bit. And I'm definitely getting faster. I've noticed some things I'm better at than others, but it takes time. I don't think people watching realize a 12-minute video, how much time goes into that, especially if you're a guy like Tesla Picker that does his sound effects and does it, you know, I mean, Sam, Dapper Tiger. I mean, these guys, it's like full on like Spielberg, right? Like they go into it. I'm pretty bare bones. Like
but you know what? I see the people who are successful. And first of all, I'm not looking to be successful on YouTube. It's not that I don't have an interest. I don't mind it. It'd be great, but I'm looking to support everybody else out there. You guys showed me a world of possibilities, so I'm showing you my world of what I'm dealing with. But so that being said, I've seen Cincinnati Picker and I've seen Lonnie and so on and so forth. A lot of them are more of a raw type of footage. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see Lonnie in the shed, or Lonnie going to a garage sale. He'll edit out what he doesn't want to be shown, plop it together. Shed flips, garage flips. There you go. Cincinnati Picker. This is what I picked up at the hi, how you doing? Yada yada yada, and finish. Yeah. You know what? That's how they probably produce on such a massive scale, and their SEO is probably above and beyond, which Dapper Tiger Sam has it down packed, right. Also from what I understand. And I need to learn a lot about it because believe it or not, with my first video, I don't even have a description. and no tags in it. None whatsoever. So nobody else except for everybody within the reseller community could actually find it. But I have to find out. It's a learning process and figure out who your crowd is and what people like and what they want to see. And so I'm trying to feel everybody out. What do you want for the next video? Do you want a Goodwill haul? Do you want to see what my flops are? Do you, I mean, even for Troy, I'm sure Troy wants some information also, guys.
Yeah, like I'm always like, hey, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong until you tell me, right? Like, so like, hey, what do you want to see? What did you watch and go, that was terrible? Like, I'll give you a thumbs up because I like you, but don't do that again, right? Like, but you don't know unless somebody tells you, right? Lone Star Picker says that it's not so much that you're trying, it's your enthusiasm and joy in the work we all do. Not many do it with delight. He is right.
I really enjoy doing it. You have
I don't know. You've got a love for life and a love for doing this stuff that I think it
You cut off. Sorry. What'd you say?
I cut off. That's okay. I think you've got a love for life and you've got a love for doing this stuff. That's just, I mean, we watch you and everybody's smiling. They can't help but smile listening to you talk about how much fun you're having being confused at Goodwill. Like, it's awesome.
It is fun. I enjoy. You know what? I enjoy making the mistake, because if I make the mistake once, I know that I could actually potentially fix it and not screw up again. Which, you know what? Within the reselling, you need to take chances and make mistakes constantly. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I enjoy it.
There you go. See, Emily says you have a delightful personality.
Thank you, Emily. I appreciate it.
There you go. And Nana is correct. It was a funny and good video. That was definitely a good first video, man. First videos are typically terrible. Mine are. My first, 10 videos, I went back and I looked at them. I'm like, I'm in the dark. Like, what was I thinking? Like, don't mention, what the content value was. Like, it's like, there's no lighting in there. What was I thinking that, yeah, this looks good enough? Like, it's terrible.
I had enough time to actually sit and study everybody and see everybody, what they're doing and how they're doing it and so on. Again, I didn't want to mimic anybody. One of my, believe it or not, my favorite watches is Art Vandelay. I personally love his screw ups and the way he jokes about it and so on and so forth. It makes good entertainment while I'm driving. So I added to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny that everybody sort of settles into their own, this is my thing. And you can see maybe where there was influences from other YouTube folks, but everybody kind of ultimately settles into their own kind of groove, I think. Yeah, everybody I did the same on my first video. Yeah, I mean, first videos are just awful. And my lovely wife says a lot of people enjoy the authenticity of seeing people do life in eBay in real time too. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing you learn, and I think that's cool to see you go, I thought this was awesome. I was super excited. I had a home run, and it turns out it was like a fly to center field, like a fly out, right? Like, he camped under that for a long time and waited. Like, that's fun to watch, not because we like to watch you fail, but because it's like, yeah, we've been there.
Believe it or not,
we've all done that.
That laser disc, I'm just getting back to it. It's like, I said, you know what? There's no point in testing. It looks freaking brand new. Why not test it? I went out of the house, and you know what? That part of the video that shows you that I'm all depressed after recording it, that part was the last thing I did, because I'm like, forget it. I was like out of it totally. Spend $22 on this thing. It has to work. I am not. It has to be working. Why would I spend $72? Who else is going to bid against me on this? Right. Yeah.
That's why auctions are tough, and because you're convinced of the value, and you're like, I can afford $5 more. I can find, and you're not actually seeing the thing. That's why I've tried a few of them, and I'm like, I need to sit there, look at it, pick it up, turn it over.
But that's the problem with going to a garage sale. You can't comp, and if you're not 100% confident that item is going to sell at an X price. I went to Goodwill. My last trip to Goodwill was, I think, last week. I got there at 6. Apparently, they were closing at 7. I thought they were closing at 9. So I got there at 6. I started filming and going around and so on and so forth, and packed up my cart with a heck load of stuff. I pulled my cart over to like the book section to start scanning the books and to like figure out what I'm gonna do with everything that's in my cart. And all of a sudden, hi everybody, welcome to Goodwill. We are closing in 15 minutes. If you are not online within the next 5, we will kick you out and you will not buy anything. Have a good day. New York. That's right. Now, hi everybody. We'll give you an extra 5 minutes. No, that doesn't work here.
Get your stuff. Get out.
Forget it. I tell you, road rage. It's. I made another part of the video on that.
I think it's interesting. Like, I think it's interesting though. You say you can't comp at garage sales. I comp at garage sales, man. Like, I do it all the time.
I went to a garage sale in Jersey last week, and I found video games. I'm like, wow, video games. So I asked the woman, how much are they? $5 a piece. $5 a piece? Like, where's my money? I said, okay, only if these things go for $30. So like, let me look for Mario. No Mario. PS2 games. What am I doing? I said, I can't comp in front of her. She's staring. She looks at me. She tells me, if you buy a bunch of them, I'll give you a smaller discount. What's a smaller discount on a $5 thing? I'm gonna pay $3-4 on the thing that's gonna sell me for $3-4. I'm not interested. I walked away with nothing.
But see, those have barcodes on the back. So pull out your eBay app and scan it. Like, you can do it super. Like, pick it up. Like, if you're not sure about doing it in front, I'll do it in front of them now. Like, I've been there. I was like, I don't know, but now I'm like, I'll look. But if you're like unsure, you pick it up and go, I'll think about it. And you walk over and you look, you're like this, right? Now I'm looking at something else. I'm not looking at something else on that table. I'm scanning the barcode on the back of that video game.
Yeah, somebody said, I don't know, it was my live or whatnot, my premiere. I actually got the premiere. I didn't think I was going to get the premiere. That's why I put the first 10 seconds that you guys are going to premiere. But anyways, I got the premiere, and somebody said, just if they ask, just tell them you're texting your wife. I'm like, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the one my wife wants or not. That works.
Right, yeah, like, she want this sports game or that sports game? What are you going to let me buy?
Yeah, or, they think you're taking pictures of it to send it. I mean, there's ways you can, but or even if they see you on eBay, you just say, hey, I'm just seeing what I could get this for on eBay. I'm sure yours is a better deal. But I just want to make sure. You got these times, we got to pinch our pennies, right? Who's going to argue with that?
I hear. You're right.
Again, you gotta find a way to be comfortable with it, but you can find a way to comp at garage sales.
Comfortable? I was sitting at a garage sale. This is the third garage sale. It's like I never went to a garage sale. I actually have. Cool. So I go to this garage sale, and this woman had her whole store out. Literally, she was closing up shop, so she had all like her store out, and she's like, "I'll tell you when you pass something that's going to be over $1." Okay. So I found like this Barney doll or whatnot. I put the Barney doll on the side. Oh, it's a good pick for $1. I'm like, okay. And I continue going around. And like, I just put it on the side. She made me make a pile of what I wanted.
Right.
So I was going to price it out and everything. She's like, and you're not taking Barney? I'm like, I don't see the value. 2006. I'm not sure. No, you should take Barney. Barney's very expensive. Okay, I'm taking Barney, Leave me alone. I'll take Barney for $1.
Some Barney stuff is actually really good.
I know. Forget the comps. It's nothing.
Not all of it. Some of it. It's funny. You had like a personal shopper at a garage sale. It's fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you going to get that guy?
She gave me, when I came home and I comped the dolls, it looks like the one she gave me for $2 is worth nothing, and the one she gave me for $1 is probably worth the $20, $30, hopefully. We'll see.
So take those and lot them up, right? And it's a plush lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll get there. You just got to, like, it takes doing it, just like YouTube, just like anything else.
Yeah.
Like when I first started going to garage sales, I didn't like haggle with them. I'm like, you say it's $3? Okay, here's $3. But then I'd hear people go, would you take 2? And I'm like, wait, that works? You can do that? Like, and once you get it figured out, it's like a superpower. Like,
yeah, but it's like where you end.
Put on their thing. They say, this is my item and it's worth this amount, right? I still think it's funny. I went with my wife. She comes every once in a while, and we picked up this one garage sale. We picked up like a t-shirt for like $1. And I think there was a t-shirt for 50 cents. So it's $1.50. They said, here's the value of these two items. I said, I like both of these. Would you take $1 for both of them? Sure. I could have just said, I'll pay for this one, but I'm just going to take this one. Is that okay? I said the same thing, right? Like I didn't phrase it like that, but essentially I said, I don't believe that the value for free, please. And they went, sure. And she was like, it's kind of amazing what you can do with the haggling and the bartering.
Wow. No,
That might be my favorite part of garage sales now.
I'm not a bargainer. I'm really not, but I have to admit it. I don't know. I'm nervous, and it's like I'll pay the price you're asking. You know, okay, I'll take it. Like,
right. I thought it was funny. Joey said the same thing in one of his videos when he went to his first garage sales. He's like, I don't really bargain. I'm not really a haggler. I don't know. I'm like, man, your personality, Joey could probably walk out of places with stuff for free. So please, you take some more. Like, yeah, but it does take. It takes getting comfortable. You have to go to enough of them where you're comfortable with yourself. That the most they're going to say is no, right? And you go, all right, well, I can do that, or walk away. Because sometimes there's value there, but not enough. Like you're saying, your Goodwill is priced too high.
So if you go to I'm Jewish again, so I've been to Israel before. When you go to Israel, you have to know how to bargain because everybody tries to haggle you anyway. So and they always give you the higher the price. So you could literally ask them how much it cost, and then they'll tell you a price, say too expensive, and start to leave, and they'll call you back. Literally, no, don't worry about it. You could pay $5, not $10. For you,
see, do that.
Yeah, people were that crazy here.
That's your new line. That's Yaakov's new garage sale line. Too expensive. Yeah, that's your series of videos of garage sales. Too expensive, and you just walk out. I like it. It's too expensive. We can make T-shirts. Just too expensive.
Too expensive.
You've got a whole line getting ready to go there. Yeah, I like watching my first few videos and watch my mistakes. It makes for a great laugh. Yeah, I don't want to go back and watch them. Yeah, make sure your phone is silent. That's a good call, Joey. It's super embarrassing when you're at a garage sale and the cash register goes off on your phone. People are like, "That's your ringtone?" Yeah,
all the time. I was actually in a patient's house the other day, and he got cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm like, oh my god! Then all of a sudden, she looks at me. She's like, "Is that your ringtone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Where do I get it? I want one like it." Like, I don't know.
That's funny. Here's a good from Artifacts. Look for estate sales, because if you don't have, if you don't have garage sales around there, there's got to be estate sales in New York, right?
Not a lot of them.
No.
Nope. And especially now with everything is, these people who are online, their bottom price starts at $5. So anything you're bidding $5 over.
Right. Do you have it? Is there any kind of Facebook Marketplace presence there?
That's another thing. I've never been on Facebook, period.
At all.
I'm
so proud of you.
No Facebook presence at all. So I don't know nothing about Facebook Marketplace. I'm more looking at Craigslist.
I'm so proud of you. I wish I had never been on Facebook many times. I actually don't have really a page anymore. I've pretty much killed it. I have what I need to do for work. I have a skeleton account.
I didn't even have Instagram until Joey came on my case and said, I have to contact you. You have to. So I said, okay, I'll set up Instagram. I set up Instagram. That was it. Put out something. Okay, I put out something. Put myself with a mask.
Right. Yeah, that's funny that you're just and I think people will watch that of you learning what's this Instagram thing. People will watch that video. I think you've got a whole series of built-in videos.
Krillin loves estate sales in New York. Krillin's about an hour away from me. He's in Long Island. I'm in Staten Island. I don't think he's been to many estate sales recently, but if he has, I'll look within that area. But for my yard and treasure map sale app that everybody uses, I I literally Staten Island and closer South Jersey, there's nothing.
Wow. See, and that's like that's surprising to me because we live in, I mean, relatively, for Montana, it's not, but I mean, it's pretty sparsely populated, right? There's like 30,000 people here. So, I mean, it's a little urban center for Montana, but it's frankly rural. And so when I look at my yard sale treasure map, I'm like, hey, there's 6 sales today. That's awesome. And then you see like Cincinnati Pickers like, well, I'll be busy today. And there's just red dots like everywhere. I would think that would be the case in New York.
No, definitely not the case in New York. I can actually show it to you. Oh, but believe it or not, to all you guys, I'm not available on Saturday. So Saturday, when it's the biggest thing for everybody, comes Friday night from nightfall to Saturday night to nightfall, I'm out of the picture for everything. No electronics for me, no nothing. So when it's prime time, like I've seen an estate sale that started on a Friday, and when it started on a Friday, it ended on a Saturday night. Ended the Friday and Saturday. Like I could try to make it on a Friday at 12 o'clock and try to get in there, but
yeah, it's tough. Like, and I do it part-time too. And so that there are positives and there are negatives. Like I can take chances. I can pass by things that I don't want to sell, even though there's value there, because I don't want to sell them. I don't want to deal with them. A full-time can't do that, right? Or, most often they can't. But I get beat to every single thrift store every day. I can't go until after I get off late, after lunch. The full-timers have been through there for hours and picked everything out, right? So that's why but I think that's helped me, like, because I have to dig and find the weird stuff and the odd stuff that they don't know about or that I didn't know about, right?
You want to imagine and like think that there's nobody else and that you're actually the only one actually doing this. Because if you're going to start thinking that there are other people who went to do it, like forget it. I'm not going there. They already went. What am I going to go for?
Right. Yeah. Well, but it is interesting, like that you can be in the same thrift store as like 3 or 4 different resellers, and they're all in different areas and they're all picking. So you kind of settle into your own thing and you find your area, and then you go and see if you can find the obvious stuff that they missed in their area.
So when I went to Goodwill this time, there was a guy who came to look at the books while I was trying to comp and get out. And he came to look at the books. He looked at it like a Yankees book. He said, "Oh, this Yankees book goes for $100 and they're only selling it for $5. I'm going to take it." I'm like, okay, I'll take that next time.
Right. Yeah. Books are hard. Like, I don't know much about books. I think books, you just got to scan barcodes
Scan.
And for me, like there's no fun in that for me. Like I'll scan some of them. Like I'll try. I'm like, hey, that book looks interesting. And I've sold some books and there's money in books, but I like digging and finding treasure. Like I can't just stand there and scan barcodes.
Dude, that's the hardest part of everything, comping out and sitting exactly like, does this sell? Like, I just want to continue shopping. Like, why am I sitting here?
Right. Here you go. Nana Ting wants to know, what do you want to sell right now more than anything?
Hard goods.
Yeah.
I think clothing, I'm starting to burn out slowly. I mean, there is a market. It's very difficult, but I think hard goods like toys and anything hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I like those. Those move faster, I feel like, than most anything else. So,
electronics also, for sure. Electronics.
Yeah.
I love electronics.
Yeah. I do want to mention before we run out of time, we got about 5 minutes left. I promised in the video this morning a tease about something coming, and it's definitely a tease because we don't want to release it just yet. We're waiting until we have.
Oh man!
We want to wait till we have the thing in hand to actually be able to show it. But we've got some merchandise coming. It's a very limited run for this very first one, but it's Mountain Man Treasure branded merch. And there's also on the other there's also another part of it. Part of it is our brand. Part of it, my daughter is a really cool artist, and we were chatting recently and kind of came up with a twist on a popular saying. And I thought, you know what? Here's what you could draw for that. She drew it, and it looks incredible. It's amazing. And so I thought, you know what? We're going to put this on something. And so we've made something. We've ordered something. It's on the way. And what we're going to do with this is she's going to get a small amount off of the sales of this, and it's sort of following Commonwealth Picker's footsteps here. We're going to be donating the bulk of everything after. We're going to pay off our investment, and then everything else, the bulk of that is going to go to, it's actually called Montana Supporting Military. And it's a lady on my radio show. I've interviewed her a few times, and it's just a fan. She had a son in the Air Force back in 2003. He came home and said, Mom, I've got a friend back there that hasn't gotten a letter, hasn't gotten a package, hasn't gotten a phone call for 6 months. And so she basically adopted this kid and said, you know what, I'll start sending him stuff. And then she found out about a unit over there that had some friends. And so she adopted a unit. And then it's grown from that to now they have an organization in like 12 states. They have sent packages to deployed soldiers, Marines, Navy, I mean, to everybody that's deployed in like 20 countries, naval ships. They do a lot of stuff. They even send stuff to canine units, which is awesome. So we're gonna donate money to them, which I think is cool. I'm really excited about it, and I think it's really cool. I think it looks cool. The only other person that's seen this, the three people in this house, and Kevin at Commonwealth Picker. Because I was messaging with him earlier today.
I want one.
I said, Kevin, what do you think? Well, you've done mugs, you've done stickers, you've done merchandise. What do you think? He loved it. He was like, hey, this looks cool. So we're gonna go with it. So maybe the end of the week, maybe next Monday we'll have it, and we can
put it up on a separate site. You're gonna put it up on eBay.
We're gonna do it. I don't want to put it on eBay because I want to save as much money as we can for the organization, and we save on fees. So we're gonna figure out a way to do it, just selling it basically out of my shop here. So I'm excited. That's what's coming up. Nana and Nikki and Gary say I'm glitching. So apparently it's time to go.
You are glitching.
I apologize. Yeah, my internet must be weird. It seems fine on my end, but my end doesn't matter. So we're gonna call it. Yaakov, what's coming for your YouTube channel before we let everybody go?
I'm gonna put out another video, and I would like as much feedback. Hit me up on Instagram, and give me the feedback. Tell me what you want more of, what you don't want more of, and I'll try to put it all together when I have the time.
Man, I appreciate it. I know you're so busy, so I appreciate you taking time. Everybody that's in here, if I'm not glitching and you can hear me, Joey Bada Bing, go. He's got a live. He's chatting with Drew from Profit Monsters tonight, I believe.
Yep.
And Drew's been on this show. He's a fantastic guy. That guy knows, like, he's become like a shoe savant. That guy knows his tennis shoes. So it's going to be a cool interview. Go over there and support those guys.
Can I just address why I don't do shoes?
Do it.
The reason I don't do shoes is because when I was doing shoes, I was doing shoes made that were basically non-name brand, made in China. And there was a niche in it. That's why they were selling on eBay. At this point, the niche is gone and it's dead. But I don't do shoes mainly because they're hard to find by me specifically. And it's too difficult to clean them. Somebody asked
that. I'll teach you how to clean shoes. Guys, thanks for coming by. And Yaakov, thanks, man. I sure appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it. It was awesome.
Really looking forward to that. When's the next video? Do you know yet?
Let's see.
I don't want to put a clock on you if you're not ready.
You guys are gonna just have to come after me. I probably could get it done within the next week. I hopefully will have it up by next week. We'll see. Hopefully. Okay. I'm gonna watch for it. Everybody, follow him on YouTube. I'm gonna put this one up for Chris right at the end as we go out because Drew likes to moan about it every time when he comes by and sees me sell a pair of boots. So Drew, I love you. Go watch those guys. It's fantastic. Thanks for coming by, and we're calling it a night. Bye, guys. Never go on. Thank you.